The second cycle is what I call the recruiting cycle. The recruiting cycle. When I learned this rhythm, it laid a foundation for me to never, ever feel stuck anymore with my personal productivity. It gave me a clear blueprint on exactly what to teach my team members to help them get more guests in front of presentations, to help them get more customers, to bring in more distributors. If I ever wanted to speed up my momentum and launch, I knew exactly what to do in cycle number 2, which is the recruiting cycle. And so there's an acronym. If you read my book, Born to Rule, Awaken the Born CEO Within You, there's a chapter on ruling your time where I talk about every business is basically a pipeline to deliver products to the people and to deliver profits to the entrepreneur. And so there's an acronym I teach in the book for starting a business from start to scratch, a traditional business. But what I love about network marketing is that half of those 10 components of a product pipeline are done by the company. They do it for you. So when it comes to recruiting and selling, there's only a few parts of the pipeline that are important for you to really focus in on and master. And I call it PIPES, P-I-P-E-S. Now, in this diagram, we're going to do the first 4 letters, P-I-P-E. The first P at the bottom of the cycle stands for prospecting. Prospecting. That's finding people. So prospecting. From there, there's an arrow that goes up to the I, which stands for inviting. Inviting. From there, there's an arrow that goes up to the next P, which stands for presenting. And then finally, there's an arrow that goes back to the E, which stands for enrolling. And then guess what? After you enroll people, you go right back to prospecting, inviting, presenting, enrolling, prospecting, inviting, presenting, enrolling, prospecting, inviting, presenting, enrolling. This is the cycle. This is the cycle. I learned from millionaire mentors. This is all we will ever do for forever. This is all we'll ever do for forever. You'll always be prospecting, finding people, inviting, which is scheduling appointments, presenting, which is showing them the information, and enrolling and following up, which leads back to prospecting, inviting, presenting, enrolling. And it's all circles around the game plan. In the middle, it says GP for game plan. This is the recruiting cycle. This is the recruiting cycle. I'll never forget so many stories I could tell you about the recruiting cycle and how you get into a rhythm and you constantly have new people coming in. I remember there was a time when I first got started in the business, they said, make a list of 100 or more people, right? That was prospecting. And then they said, invite them. So I need to figure out, what do I say to the people to get an appointment, to get them to agree to show up at a certain time? So I learned the skill of inviting. And that's the first skill. Inviting was the first skill that helped me earn my first $500 in my first week, $2,000 in my first month, consistently $1,000 a month while I was still figuring it out, because I got really good at inviting, right? We're going to talk about each one. Now, one thing that almost caused me to not do the business was the third skill, presenting. I thought I was going to have to present. I thought I was going to have to be the speaker. And you see me speaking and training now in front of dozens of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people. But that's not who I was in my leadership development when I started at 19 years old, just turning 20. You know, that's not where I was in 1999, 2000. I said I would never do a presentation. I would never stand up and do what I'm doing right now. And if I had to do that, I'm out. But thankfully, somebody showed me that I didn't have to be the presenter, because the company had already put the presentation on a video for me, where I could show the video as the presentation. The company already had events in place where people were doing the presentation for me. So I figured out, if I can figure out how to invite, properly, if I can get good at this one skill, getting people to simply say yes to taking a look, I can get people in front of a good presenter or a good presentation that would do the work for me. Isn't that good? And so that's what gave me the confidence to say, I'm going to get good at inviting, right? I wasn't good at prospecting yet. I'm by nature, I'm an introvert. You can't tell now because of the leadership development that I've invested in myself, right? That's what you're saying now is the investments that I've made of time, of getting around the right mentors, coaching, and overcoming my obstacles, doing the work on me is what you see today. But when I got started, I didn't have a ton of folks, but I learned a few strategies that worked for me as an introvert. I learned some strategies that worked for me when I was shy and timid about this, and I'm going to share some of those as well. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about prospecting. And when it comes to prospecting, I want you to understand that there's a strategy to never, ever, ever run out of people. How many would like to never, ever, ever, ever run out of people? Okay, I'm going to give you a few key strategies. Very simple, but make them your lifestyle. So the first strategy I'm going to give you is people you know. There's 3 sources of prospects, by the way. People you know, A, people you know, B, people you meet, and C, people you get referred to. Those are the only 3 sources, by the way. People you know, people you meet, and people you get referred to. So you want to be effective as the Born CEO of your business. If you're coaching with me, I want to make sure you're masterful at all 3. You're finding people you know, finding new people that you meet. We can mute out some of the background noise. And then people that you get referred to. People you get referred to. So those are the 3 sources of prospects, how I never, ever run out of people. So people that I know. First of all, you're going to hear me talk a lot about the referral approach. Some of you have heard it. It's becoming famous. I never heard it anywhere else. But the referral approach is when I made a shift in my thinking that changed my business forever. Because before I learned the referral approach, there were 3 things I was doing in my approach that did not work. And this is important. Even though the approach is how we invite, I need you to get the right mindset from the beginning with your prospects. Are you approaching people to get them to buy, join, or be interested, like most people, like I used to, and it didn't work for me? Or are you using the referral approach, which says, all I'm asking you to do is take a look, give us feedback, and refer me to people if it makes sense? Write these 3 down. Take a look, give us feedback, refer me to people if it makes sense. Take a look, give us feedback, refer me to people when it makes sense. Let me tell you the difference in the mindset. When I was doing it the wrong way, for me, trying to get people to buy, join, or be interested, it created stress. It created pressure on me, pressure on them. And a lot of people said no. So there's a school of thought out there called go for no. The go for no strategy is you get as many no's as you can, help build up an immunity to the word no, hopefully. And through those no's, you'll find some yeses. Now, that strategy works for a lot of people. It helps a lot of people. But I don't like no's. I never liked no's. And what I realized is that a lot of people are getting too many no's for no reason. Like there's certain things, with my approach, I call it the go for yes referral approach. I get so many yeses, I don't have to go for no. How would you like to find a way to get so many yeses that you don't have to go for no? Type yes in the chat. Type go for yes in the comments. I'm going to teach you my go for yes approach. And the go for yes approach is, instead of getting people to go for yes to be interested, instead of asking people to buy, join, or be interested, which is kind of go for no, right? Are you interested? No. Go for yes is all we're doing is asking them to say yes to taking a look, giving us feedback, and referring us to people. Why is that effective for me? Because I believe that I have a product and an opportunity that everybody needs to see and know that it exists. I also believe, catch the belief system here. The belief system is what makes this work. I also believe that every single one of you out there, every person out there knows people that can benefit from my product or service or opportunity. Do you believe that as well? Say yes, if you believe that. So if you believe that everybody that you know or meet knows people who can benefit from your product or service, that person is valuable to you, even if they're not interested in buying, joining, or being interested themselves. They can still be a valuable referral source for you. This is why I call it the go for yes referral approach. I don't see them as a potential customer or a potential recruit for my business first. The first goal is for this person to agree to be a referral source for me. I want to lock this person in as my exclusive referral source. So whether you're interested or not, no problem. Whether you personally buy or not, no problem. Whether you ever join my team or not, no problem. I still want you to take a look. I still want you to give us feedback. And I still want you to refer me to people that you know who can benefit. Are y'all catching my drift here? This is not a tactic. This is not like secretly I'm trying to find a way to get you interested about joining. No, I genuinely want you to say yes to taking a look, giving us feedback, referring us to people. And I'm perfectly okay if you don't become a customer, if you don't become a distributor, and if you're not personally interested yourself. That's not why I need you to look. Put in the chat referrals. That changed the game for me because I stopped asking people to buy, join, or be interested. And I simply started looking at everybody as who can refer people to me and who can refer people to you. Who can be a good referral source for you in your business, with your product, with your service, with your opportunity? The answer is everybody. Everybody can be a good referral source for you. But they'll never become a referral source for you if you don't ask them to. If they don't know you, get to know you, like you, trust you enough. If they don't take a look, give you feedback, and refer people if it makes sense to them, they will not be a referral source. So my mindset was, I want everybody I know and everybody I meet and everybody I get referred to refer more people to me. So how can I approach people that way? Instead of approaching them like a salesperson, how can I approach them like a connector, a referral source for me? All right, that changed the game. Now it helped me relax because I'm no longer reaching out to people because I think they'll be interested, or I think they'll buy, or I think they'll join. When I coach my team members this way, they're no longer making a list of only the people they think would be interested in, or the people who would buy, or the people who would join. I'm drilling into them that you're looking for everybody to refer people to you. So I'm gonna tell you one of my secrets. That's called the 2 promises. The 2 promises. Whenever I meet with somebody or talk to someone, I want them to make me 2 promises before I show them something that everybody's gonna have one day, that everybody needs to see. The first promise I want you to make me, if you're my prospect, I want you to make me a promise that if what I'm about to show you makes sense, promise me you'll refer people to me. Nobody else. Promise me that. If you can, promise me that you'll refer people to me, nobody else. Because I know people that you know are going to get this. You'll get the confidence. I know people that you know are going to get what I have. Even though I haven't shown it to you yet, you don't even know what I do yet. Promise me that if it makes sense, you'll refer people to me and not somebody else if you can. And number 2, promise me that you'll get it from me when you're ready, not somebody else. Promise me you'll get it from me when you're ready, not somebody else. Those 2 promises built my business. Over 1,000 customers from that approach. Personal customers, tens of thousands of customers, 46, 47,000 customers at the time of this presentation. From that approach, all across the United States and Canada, internet family. I kid you not, that one approach changed the game for me. I went from not getting a whole bunch of no's to now it's very rare for somebody to say no. What is there to say no to? I didn't ask you a yes or no question. I said, hey, Thomas, would you mind giving me your feedback on a project I'm working on? I just need you to take a look. give me your feedback, refer people to me. Would you be willing to do that for me if it makes sense? Perfect. Yes. If you would say yes to that, say yes in the chat. Hey, Justin, hey, would you be willing to give me your feedback on a project I'm working on?
Yes,
Justin
sir.
says, man, I'm not really
Yes, sir.
interested in anything right now. And I say, no problem. I don't need you to be interested. I don't need you to buy. I don't need you to join. I don't even need you to be interested. But I do need you to take a look, give me your feedback, and if it makes sense, refer people to me. Would you do that for me? All of a sudden, he went from, I'm not interested myself, to sure, I will do that for you. You all see the difference. All of a sudden, I went from people saying no to yes. Oh, I'll do that. Well, you put it that way. Yes, I'll take a look. And so instead of focusing on selling people, I shifted to just serving people by educating them on what I have and asking them to just take a look, give us feedback, refer us to people. That now gave me mentally, it freed me up mentally to never leave anybody off of my list because I want everybody to be a referral source. Who do you want to be a referral source for you? Who do you want to lock in with those two promises? And to this day, I have people, I haven't lived in Washington, D.C., where I'm from, since 2008. I moved to California, 2008. But still to this day, I have people that every year I get a call from somebody saying, hey, I ran across somebody who does what you do. And I told them, I promised you I would get it from you when I was ready. Or I told my cousin needed something. I remembered, I promised you that I would refer my family members to you when I heard something, or my coworkers to you. I still get business from people that I showed the information to months ago, weeks ago, years ago, a decade ago, because of those two promises. Oh, some of y'all just got all your money's worth right there. Some of you want to send me a Venmo, not right now. What just happened to your bank account when you apply that consistently and teach that to your team? Instead of going for no, running from no's, quitting from no's, you're getting yeses, not yeses to buy or join or be interested, but yeses to take a look. Because how many of you also believe that once people take a look thoroughly and fully understand it and get their questions answered up here at the presentation, a lot of them will now be interested and want to buy or join. Are you getting me so far? This is why I came up with that referral approach. And so people you know, think about all the networks you belong to, all the networks. I don't have time to go deeper like I really want to, and like I do with my coaching clients, and I'm going to do some more in the leadership development workshop at the VIP. But listen, people you know, how many elementary schools did you go to? How many people went to your elementary school? How many people went to your high school? How many people went to the colleges you went to? How many people worked at the companies that you worked at? How many people in your mom's side of the family alive? How many in your dad's side of the family alive? Your play cousin side of the family alive? Your best friend's family? All these are networks. Think networks. Put networks in the chat. Think networks. Before you start thinking about how many people, think networks. How many networks do I belong to? Every part of your family is a network. Every school you went to is a network. Every job you worked at is a network. Every company you've been a part of is a network. Your kids' schools are networks. Parent-teacher associations are networks. Your favorite sports team is a network. You got social media groups connected to your networks. You got your email database is a network. So Facebook is a network. All your contacts there. All your contacts on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. These are all networks of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people. Your problem is not that you don't know enough people. Your problem is you don't know how to approach them.